They told her she wasn't supposed to be there. But at Union Station, with rain cutting the tracks, history had other plans for Kesha Williams. Who was the woman who let her dream job roll away, just to keep holding a stranger's trembling hand? Today, you'll hear how one black woman's choice to do what's right reshaped a company, created scholarships, and redefined success. If you believe stories like hers deserve daylight, subscribe and turn on notifications. Every click keeps her story alive. 4:30 a.m. The alarm shattered the dark. Kesha slipped from bed, careful not to wake her younger brother Jamal on the couch. 6 hours at Murphy's Diner earned her just $23. Rent due, lights overdue, and Jamal's textbooks borrowed. Still, she smiled. Today could change everything. Then the call came. "This is Jennifer from PT Industries. We'd like to interview you at 3 p.m. A $45,000 job. Benefits, hope." It wasn't a dream. It was survival. By 2:45, she was running through Union Station, clutching her resume. Rain hit the tracks as the 3:15 train hissed to depart. Then she saw him, an old man, soaked, gripping a leather portfolio. His face was gray, hand pressed to his chest. He whispered, "Please." 30 seconds until the train left. Her life on one side, a dying stranger on the other. Kesha dropped her bag and ran. 911. Union Station. Chest pains. The doors closed behind her. Her chance was gone. In the ambulance, she held his hand, whispering, "You're not alone." Sirens painted the city red and blue. At the hospital, doctors called it an anxiety-induced cardiac episode. The man opened his eyes. "You saved my life," he said. "What did you give up to stay?" "A job interview," she admitted quietly. Receptionist position. Would have changed everything inside that ambulance. Time stretched into something eternal. Kesha didn't know why, but as she looked at the stranger's trembling hands, she felt as if every hardship she'd ever endured had prepared her for this exact moment. There was no noise left in her mind, only instinct, courage, and something sacred that told her this was the right choice. He nodded, voice steadying. "What company?" "PT Industries." The door burst open. A man in a tailored suit rushed in. "Dad!" Kesha froze. "Dad?" "This young woman saved my life," the old man said. "I'm Harold Peaton." For a moment, Kesha couldn't breathe. All those mornings walking past that skyscraper, wondering if people like her would ever belong inside. Suddenly, the man who built it was lying in front of her. Life had a strange way of revealing who truly held power. Not those in glass offices, but those who refused to walk past someone in need. The name hit her like thunder. Peaton Technologies. The skyscraper she walked past every day after cleaning offices. She'd just saved the founder himself. Kesha refused his money. He only handed her a card. "If you ever need anything," he said softly, "call me." That night, she told Jamal. "I missed the interview," she said, "but I helped someone." He squeezed her hand. "You did the right thing, sis." But when Jamal fell asleep, Kesha sat awake by the window. The city lights blinked like 1,000 unanswered questions. Would doing the right thing ever be enough to survive? She looked at the business card again, its golden letters glimmering faintly under the streetlight. And, for the first time, hope felt heavier than fear. The next morning, her phone rang again. PT Industries. "We'd like to reschedule your interview." She arrived at the marble tower, breath tight. On the lobby wall, portraits of the founders. Harold Peaton looked down, younger, proud, alive. Jennifer greeted her and led her upstairs. But instead of a meeting room, she opened a corner office. Harold sat behind a mahogany desk, healthy and smiling. "There's my guardian angel," he said. I'm not offering you the receptionist position. I'm offering you something better. Be my executive assistant. I'll train you myself." Kesha blinked. "Sir, I don't have the experience." "Experience can be taught," Harold said. "Character can't." The air in that room felt charged, like a second chance wrapped in disbelief. For years, Kesha had watched life give opportunities to everyone but her. Now, the very man she'd saved was offering her a place beside him. Not because of luck, but because she'd chosen compassion when no one was watching. David, his son, slid a folder across the table. Starting salary $85,000. Full benefits. And a full scholarship for your brother through the Peton Foundation. Tears filled Kesha's eyes. "Why me?" "Because yesterday reminded me who I want to be," Harold said. "This company needs people who see others, not status." In that moment, something changed between them. It was more than gratitude. It was recognition. Harold saw in Kesha the courage he had long lost chasing profit. She saw in him the humanity she feared the world had forgotten. Two people from opposite worlds, united by one impossible moment of grace. Before leaving that day, Kesha paused by the window of the towering office. The city stretched out beneath her. Endless glass, cold steel, people rushing. For the first time, she didn't feel small looking at it. She realized that true power didn't come from being above others, but from lifting them when no one else would. She shook his hand. "Yes," she whispered. 6 months later, everything had changed. Jamal was at Northwestern. Their 2-bedroom apartment had sunlight instead of cracks. Kesha walked into Harold's office in a navy blazer, holding a report. The Kindness Initiative has reached 847 people, funded 53 scholarships, launched 27 job programs. Harold grinned. "When I hired you, I thought I was getting an assistant. Turns out I got a revolution." Kesha smiled, but her voice trembled when she replied. "It's strange, Harold. I used to think kindness was invisible, that it didn't pay bills, didn't open doors. But now I see it multiplies. Every act finds its way back." Somehow Harold just nodded, his eyes soft with pride. Under her Kindness First policy, employees were never penalized for helping others, even if it made them late. Media called it the Peton model. And for the first time, purpose was profitable. Soon, other companies began calling. CEOs wanted to meet the woman who rewrote corporate compassion. But Kesha always said the same thing. "I didn't rewrite anything. I just reminded people what humanity sounds like." 2 years later, same platform. Kesha, now Director of Community Relations, was hurrying for a train to a youth event. Then she saw him, an elderly man on the same bench, lost and crying. "My granddaughter. First to graduate nursing school," he said, "but I can't find it." Kesha took the envelope from his hand. Northwestern University Peton Foundation seal. She smiled. "I know her." She canceled her event and rode with him to the ceremony. When Maria crossed the stage, the man gripped Kesha's hand. "You made this possible." "No," she said softly. "You did. I just made sure you got here." As the crowd applauded, Kesha realized something powerful. The future wasn't built by wealth or degrees. It was built by moments of kindness that connected strangers forever. She had missed one train years ago, but found an entire purpose waiting at the next station. Later, Harold texted, "Heard what you did. Some meetings matter more." The next morning, Peton officially protected any employee who helped others. Because they'd learned that the most important meetings aren't on your calendar, they happen when someone needs you. That decision rippled across the country. News outlets called it the Humanity Clause. Schools taught it as a case study, and at every talk, Kesha ended the same way. "I wasn't a hero. I was just someone who stopped long enough to care." Years later, Kesha would stand on a TEDx stage, lights glowing on her face, thousands listening. She spoke not about success, but about pause, about the courage it takes to stop in a world obsessed with speed. And when the crowd rose to their feet, she smiled humbly, thinking of that rainy afternoon and a single whispered word that changed everything: please. She never asked for medals, just to be remembered. Because sometimes the bravest thing a woman can do is stop. Stop and choose people over ambition. Stop and miss the train, so someone else doesn't miss their life. Years later, when she passed that same bench again, Kesha noticed a small plaque fixed to the wood. It read, "Dedicated to all who stopped when the world kept running." She smiled, because in the end, it wasn't about the train she missed. It was about all the lives that kept moving because she did. If Kesha's story moved you, subscribe and share it. Tell us in the comments, when was the last time you stopped for someone who needed you? Your story might be the train someone else is waiting for.